Imagine scrolling through your phone and bam, you see. 1 minute ago, Paris Jackson breaks silence. Her father warned her about Diddy. That's the headline that stops your thumb. You tap fast, heart already racing, wondering, what did she just say? And why now? The weight of a name. Paris Jackson isn't just anyone. She carries the Jackson legacy. Her dad was Michael Jackson, the king of pop. That name followed her everywhere, through playgrounds, cameras, and tabloids. But she's not only her father's daughter. She's her own person, an artist, a voice, a survivor. Yifios. Life inside Neverland and outside its walls. Growing up in the Jackson universe wasn't ordinary. Neverland was magical, yes. A zoo, an amusement park, a jungle gym. But it came with rules. Michael expected his kids to earn their fun. Paris has spoken about having to read before going to the toy store and sitting through interviews. It was less fawning and more focused, an education hidden inside fame. When Michael died in June 2009, Paris was just 11. The spotlight that once felt like home became a glare. She stood on stage at his memorial and said, "Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine," voice trembling with grief. But behind the tears and cameras was a girl lost, pulled away from childhood. Between silence and scars. After that day, the Jacksons and the world watched Paris and her siblings struggle. Paris has been raw about her battles. Depression, self-harm, even a traumatic assault at age 14. She's shared the darkest corners of her mind, admitting to suicidal thoughts and admitting she fought to come back. You know what stands out? Her honesty. It isn't polished or shallow, it feels real. She didn't say, "I struggle." She said, "I cut. I cried. I thought about ending it." That kind of vulnerability insists people listen. Finding her own voice. And yet she didn't stay silent. Paris launched her band, the Soundflowers, acted, modeled, and spoke out about mental health. She told Harper's Bazaar she was shocked by discrimination and cruelty outside her famous bubble. But she embraced it, learning who she was apart from Michael Jackson. She's earned respect, or tried to. She didn't want a Jackson pass. She wanted her voice heard, not her last name echoed. The moment she spoke, and stunned us all. Now comes that "yours 1 minute ago" moment. Paris Jackson has finally spoken about Sean Diddy Combs. Though details are unfolding, she referred to him as someone her father warned her about. A man who influenced Michael's life in ways that, she implies, weren't always in his best interest. From what we know, Diddy was near Michael during his later years. Paris says he guided her, gave advice, taught her to stay strong in the spotlight. But there's a reverse side to every coin. Paris says she believes Diddy had Michael's ear, and that maybe, just maybe, some of his counsel hurt her father's life or career. Important. She's not pinning criminal blame. Instead, she suggests his influence was powerful and possibly harmful. An influence that might have shaped decisions, choices, and Michael's final days. Why this matters: A. Power, influence, and accountability. Celebrity guidance can feel harmless, until it's not. When someone like Diddy enters your inner circle, people listen. Paris is calling that out. It raises questions. When is mentorship actual support? And when is it control? B. A daughter seeking answers. Paris didn't go hunting for drama. She's shocked, emotional, caught between grief and truth. She spent years holding back, now she's opening up. That feels important. Revisiting Michael's final chapter. Michael Jackson's last years were tangled in controversy. Paris believes he was effectively murdered, and that darker forces, including Diddy, might have played a part. This new layer shifts the story once again. The world's response: fans are listening and reacting. Some call Paris courageous. Others are skipping to defense mode for Diddy. And some are raising caution. They ask for both honesty and compassion. Paris herself warned against cruelty, writing something along the lines of, "Please don't use a man you have never met as an excuse to abuse, manipulate, and harass his daughter." She's pleading for empathy, not mob justice. Fosseurs breeze. 8. What's next? We don't know exactly. Paris hinted she has more to say, but only when she's ready. Will Diddy respond? That's up in the air. Michael's legacy, already complicated, could face new scrutiny. Sucksars. 9. The bigger picture. This isn't late-night gossip. It's a reminder. Fame hides layers. What we see on magazine covers and headlines is just the surface. Beneath all the flashing lights, red carpets, and fame are relationships. Some loving, some complicated, and some, honestly, harmful. People in power can shape lives, sometimes without us even noticing. And when that power mixes with fame, the lines get blurry fast. Paris isn't just dropping a name, she's peeling back the curtain and letting us glimpse what it really means to grow up in the shadow of icons, moguls, and whispered warnings. She's not pointing fingers without thought. She's unpacking years of quiet questions, unspoken tension, and moments that didn't sit right. This isn't about drama, it's about truth. She's saying, look closer. Things weren't perfect, and some of those smiles hid pain. And when someone who stayed silent for so long finally speaks, you know it comes from a place that's been carrying weight for years. There's real bravery in that. Because questioning the people who once smiled at your family dinners or stood backstage cheering you on, that takes guts. Especially when they hold power. Especially when they're untouchable to most. But Paris isn't doing this for shock. She's doing it for closure, for clarity, maybe even for healing. And she's not just brave, she's bold. Unapologetically so. She's clear, look deeper, listen closer. Emotions are complex, stories are rarely one-sided, and sometimes silence protects the wrong people. Bringing the pieces together. Picture a little girl, the daughter of the biggest pop star in history, standing at his memorial, saying goodbye. Cameras flashing, the world grieving, her voice breaking as she speaks through tears. That was Paris. Now fast forward. She's grown. She's been bruised, bent, but not broken. She's learned how to heal, how to speak, how to own the parts of her life no one else can explain for her. And now she's speaking again, not as just Michael's daughter, but as a survivor of fame, of trauma, of too many secrets kept for too long. This moment matters. It's not gossip, it's reckoning. It's Paris saying, here's what I saw, here's what I felt. Do with it what you will, but I'm done staying silent. And that hook you saw at the start? It wasn't a headline, it was a warning shot. The story has begun, and it's not done unspooling. If you believe stories deserve the whole truth, if you care about resilience, power, and healing, please hit that subscribe button. Stick around. We're just getting started.